Coming up on AgweekTV, emergency hay donations are coming in for ranchers suffering through drought.
We're in Devil's Lake, North Dakota, where we're going to meet some folks that are finding some diversification and help from foreign markets.
And farmers and dealers come from all over to the annual Steffes AgIron auction. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Shauna Olson. Drought relief is on the way for some North Dakota ranchers in need. The North Dakota Ag Department and NDSU have set up a site in Fargo for hay donations. It all started with a call from a nonprofit out-of-state organization looking to help.
We have some producers that have experienced losses as great as 97%. They haven't even put livestock out into the pasture. And what little bit of hay they've been able to gather up is hardly anything.
North Dakota Ag Commissioner Doug Goring says some ranchers will be getting some relief. This lot at the NDSU Beef Cattle Research Complex will soon become a drop-off site for donations of hay.
Our staff and equipment will be used to unload and then load the trailers for the hay lottery as the hay comes in.
A large donation will soon be coming from Michigan, a group called Community Relief.
Ag Community Relief is the same group that organized large convoys of hay to those fire victims in Kansas, Colorado, and Oklahoma this year.
Donated hay will then be available to producers in a hay lottery.
Producers that are eligible for this hay lottery must be in a D2, D3, or D4 county and own at least 25 animal unit equivalents. That would be in dairy, beef cattle, or sheep.
Hay needs vary from ranch to ranch.
You know, the people I talk to are in need of anywhere from, 100 to 1,000 bales to get their livestock through the winter. So this resource will be a big help to a number of those that will be able to draw from this.
Goring says an extra 78,000 head of cattle have already gone through the auction ring this year.
If our livestock producers don't put up enough forage this year or don't have enough forage, they'll end up having to disperse herds. We've already seen herds dispersed.
You can apply for the hay lottery on the North Dakota Ag Department's website. The deadline to apply is August 31st. To donate hay, call the Drought Hotline. Northeastern North Dakota is an oasis this year and has become a lifeline for drought-stricken ranchers. The government recently opened CRP land for emergency haying, and Jonathan Knutson talked to a farmer helping out another.
Western North Dakota is ravaged by drought, so CRP fields like this one in Grand Forks County become especially attractive to hay.
We've had a lot of stress from the drought to the fire.
3 weeks ago I was contacted, somebody wanted to know if I had CRP. I said I did, and they told me about the situation they're going through out in the western part of the state around ZAP. They want to know if they could buy it. I said no, I'll give it to you.
Back home I was affected by the Magpie fire. Consumed roughly 5,000 acres and kind of put my community in a jam. So I was hoping to put up enough hay for our ranch and then also for some neighbors and some people that were short, get through the season and hopefully it rains next spring.
There's a lot of work ahead, but there's a lot of hay too. For Western North Dakota ranchers, that's a good thing. For Ag Week, I'm Jonathan Knutson.
The NDSU Vet Diagnostic Lab in Fargo is working to help livestock producers in drought areas. They're running tests for ranchers who want to know their animals are getting fed safe water and hay. Drought can mean dangerously high levels of nitrates that can be toxic to animals and increased sulfates in the water. Lab Director Brett Webb says testing is up sixfold this summer, and as the harvest progresses, they expect to start seeing a lot of forage samples.
It's fairly rare for us to see high nitrates. This year I think we've seen quite a bit of an increase in samples that have fairly high nitrates, and in those cases, there's not a lot of options due to the feed shortages out there. One of the primary strategies people use is just to dilute it. with a forage that's a little lower in nitrates to reduce the potential for toxicity.
Drought is hard on farmers and ranchers, but it's not abnormal during South Dakota summers and should be planned for. That's the advice from SDSU Extension Range Field Specialist Pete Bauman. He spoke at one of a series of drought management meetings Extension is holding across the state. They want to get the word out about resources and help available for those affected by the drought, and he advises everyone to plan for it.
Drought is not an anomaly. It's not a rarity. It's a every few year occurrence, and so it really should be, you know, part of that basic operating plan for the ranch. And what that really means is, have you built in enough flexibility to be able to make those decisions independent of emotions and more dependent on the science.
The South Dakota climatologist says this year's drought is on pace to be in the top 5 to 7 worst, and there's no relief in the August outlook. Still ahead on AgweekTV.
I'm Michelle Rupp. We'll look at the top issues trending with farmers here at Farm Fest in Redwood County, Minnesota.
My name is Joel Kaler, owner-operator of Kaler Farms in Lidgerwood, North Dakota. We make a patented product called the Cornstalk Guide. It's made out of UHMW, ultra-high molecular weight poly, which is extremely durable. Typically what you'll see on corn heads is the idler chain in the sprocket sticks out. We attach to the side of a snout. Our product will keep all the wear off the snout and get it to come into the head smoother without bouncing.
I'm 120, 130, 130, 55, once around the block, 212 right here, now have them times up.
If you're thinking about selling a piece of land, or you're looking to sell some farm equipment, or if you're thinking about a retirement or involved in an estate, give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way. We think it's a good way. That's how we approach it. If any of those are in your plans, give us a call or go to steffesgroup.com. Learn all about us. Hope to hear from you.
Introducing the new Challenger 1000 series, tractors unlike any other manufactured by AGCO. Redefining what a wheel tractor is capable of when it comes to wheel slip, power to ground, and fuel economy. Today, it's not enough just to be tough. You've got to be smarter than everyone else, too. Contact your Challenger dealer today to get in the seat of the new Challenger 1000. Superior engineering, superior performance, superior productivity. The next generation of tractors from your Challenger dealer.
Celebrate 175 years of Case IH equipment heritage with a limited edition Case skid steer or compact track loader painted with the same red paint of the venerable Case IH farm equipment line. Only 175 are being built and they're going fast. Built to the same specifications on the same assembly line as the award-winning regular Case models, these machines are a working piece of history. Get yours before they're all gone. Hurry into your local Titan Machinery location or go to www.red175.com to learn more today.
Okay, all you lefse makers, it's time to boil potatoes and roll that dough. Home of Economy is looking for the region's best-tasting lefse to compete in the Hostfest Lefse Masters this fall. Home of Economy is your home of lefse, and as an official pre-qualifier, we're conducting lefse contests at 6 of our North Dakota stores. Each top winner advances to Hostfest for a chance to be crowned the Lefse Master. So grab your apron and register online at homeoflefse.com.
The ag equipment market has struggled along with the farm economy, but a Devils Lake ag equipment manufacturer has gotten a boost from foreign markets. Summers Manufacturing was started in the 60s by Harley Summers, building the Herman Harrow. As Mikkel Pates found, it's grown through the years.
Well, the North American market is a little bit down, but the international market is perking along, and that's helping some of the folks in the farm equipment business up in Devils Lake, North Dakota.
It's have an upward tick, so it helps us when domestic is slower.
Summers Manufacturing makes 14 product lines, including tillage and sprayers, land rollers, and rock pickers. But the drop in commodity prices starting in 2013 had a major impact on their business.
That was probably the biggest effect, along with we've seen some of the European manufacturers come over here too and try to get a foothold for some of their tillage products.
Realizing that we had built up this company in so many ways, and all of a sudden it got very quiet as far as the sales. which led to very hard decisions. The decisions to, lay people off, we'd lay them off, bring them back, cut hours, things like that. Those were hard, and it was hard on the people.
Summers president Deborah Anderson is Harley's daughter. She says business will probably never return to its pre-recession levels, but an increase in international business has picked up some of the slack.
When this economy, has been a little depressed, the export or international has really been a blessing to us.
Summers' biggest international customers are Russia, Ukraine, and Kazakhstan. Vice President of Sales Brian Percune says it's a natural fit for their products.
Mainly because our products fit so well. They're very, if you go over there and travel, there's very similar to what we see here in North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, large acreage, big farms, need for big heavy equipment to get over the fields fast.
A company that spent more than 50 years building trust among North American farmers has a brighter future because it's reached out to the rest of the world. For Ag Week, this is Mikkel Pates in Devils Lake, North Dakota.
The company closed the original factory in Maddock, North Dakota last year. Congress and the Trump administration still haven't delivered on many of the promises they campaigned on. This is a concern to many farmers who are challenged by low commodity prices and high medical costs. Michelle Rook has reaction from Farm Fest.
The Farm Bill, healthcare, and tax reform were all top-of-mind issues here at Farm Fest, but farmers are doubtful Congress will get anything done before the end of the year. A panel on rural healthcare looked at solutions for farmers facing high healthcare costs and access issues.
So what I mean by that is, what do things cost when you go to the doctor, the hospital? No one really knows. That'd be a huge step. And then the access issue, can we use technology? Can we do telemedicine?
State officials say premiums have also skyrocketed for farmers who are generally on individual markets.
People on the individual market in greater Minnesota this year and last year have really struggled trying to not only buy health insurance because it's been really expensive, but then also making insurance available.
Farmers also want health care done to pave the way for tax reform with a simpler tax code and a state tax repeal.
Some of the death tax for the farmers that have been taxed multiple times on their land, on the use of their land, and then when they try to pass it down to the next generations, get taxed again.
And on the Farm Bill, House Ag Committee member Tim Walz says farmers want changes in the ARC and PLC programs with low grain prices.
Building on the last Farm Bill, making sure that safety net is strengthened, tweaked, but I think the overall direction will remain fairly similar.
However, farmers attending Farm Fest are doubtful for much progress yet in 2017.
I feel that there's too much unrest and unhappiness out in Washington, D.C., and nobody's going to want to work together.
At Farm Fest, I'm Michelle Rook reporting for Ag Week.
Much of the region got some welcome rain. Is there more in sight? Your AgriWeather forecast is next. And later, we'll see what some big iron was going for at the big AgIron auction.
Advanced biofuel for America's diesel engines is clean burning and made from renewable sources like soybean oil. Biodiesel fuel works in any diesel engine, reducing emissions, helping us breathe cleaner air. Biodiesel adds value to North Dakota soybeans, creating jobs, improving the environment, increasing our energy independence. Biodiesel, it starts with soybeans, it's fueling America.
My name's Joel Kaler, owner-operator of Kaler Farms in Lidgerwood, North Dakota. We make a patented product called a cornstalk guide. Helps guide corn stalks into the grabs and the chains a lot smoother without losing corn. The corn stalk, when it comes off of our product, it's already on the gathering chain instead of being able to hit that idler. Our product will keep all the wear off the snout and get it to come into the head smoother without bouncing.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Batco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Batco dealer.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
This is Dennis Beliski. If you're trying to save a little money this summer but still need to make a major purchase before harvest, check out resourceauction.com. Our August 1st auction is chock full of good units that will sell to the highest bidder. Our suppliers have made the decision to liquidate equipment, and this is without a doubt the region's premier summer consignment event. Hundreds of units from 2010 and up with many tractors, trucks, and combines. Check it out at resourceauction.com, and we'll see you on August 1st.
Weather portion of Ag Week now. A fairly substantial rain system the middle of this past week into North and South Dakota, some parts of Minnesota, has perhaps changed the drought situation a bit. Not really a drought buster, but definitely one that gave row crops in many areas enough of a drink to get them through, especially considering that we've got milder weather now. The heat is gone for the time being. So these two things playing into each other, the cooler weather definitely helping out with row crops, the significant rain helping out as well. But just so you know, we are looking for mostly dry weather going forward throughout the Northern Plains region, and I do expect warm temperatures to come back in mid-August. Probably a few hot days coming in there as well. So we're not quite finished with all of that just yet. Big crashing jet stream, of course, it was the midweek weather system which brought the jet southward or accompanied that. Now, the really cool air is staying mostly in Canada, but it's quite mild throughout the Northern Plains. Warm air has gone south and west. Been hearing about a lot of hot temperatures out along the west coast. That will gradually migrate inland over the next couple of days, but it will remain very warm in the western states, and the heat is not really going away. Neither is the cool weather. Jet stream coming out of the northwest for most of the area in a situation that will likely leave much of the Northern Plains fairly dry but mild as this week goes along anyway. The coolest weather will be in the Great Lakes up through Hudson Bay. The Rockies will continue to have scorching temperatures, and most of the rain this week will be in tropical systems, except I am expecting some pretty appreciable rains down in Texas and Oklahoma. And when I say tropical systems, I don't think we're talking hurricanes here. We're just talking tropical moisture into the southeastern states, and the jet stream being so far south, there will be above normal rainfall throughout the southeastern states and some parts of the southern plains. Most of the rest of the country, probably only intermittent nuisance rains expected. Maybe that's really about it. As we go to the second week, August 13th, 19th, big subtle change in the pattern as the ridge builds up again. And yes, we are going to experience some more warm weather starting around mid-August into the Northern Plains. Cooler weather moves back into the northwest, and it will remain cool in the Great Lakes. The really scorchingly hot weather will drop down to the southwest and move out of the northwestern part of the country. And so looking at this second week, maybe one system will come down as the jet stream builds up into the Northern Plains. Otherwise, the Southern Plains and the Southeast will remain fairly stormy, and we'll get some much-needed moisture back into the Pacific Northwest as the heat finally leaves in that area. So to summate the whole deal, midweek rain has changed things a bit, but has not alleviated drought. Probably more significantly, milder weather settling in, though the heat will be back.
WDAY 970 AM has added the Red River Farm Network to its lineup. Join the Red River Farm Network team as we partner with Ag Week to cover the area's #1 industry, agriculture. Join us Monday through Friday for Country Morning at 7 a.m., opening markets at 8:30, market updates at 9:30, 10:30, and 11:30, closing markets at 1:30. We're committed to reporting agriculture's business on the Red River Farm Network, Ag Week, and WDAY 970 AM.
In today's marketplace, maximizing your harvest is more valuable than ever. Improve the efficiency of your operation by adding a Prairie air reel to your harvester today. A continuous stream of high-velocity air quickly feeds crop back to the auger, getting your crop off the cutter bar and into the header. This minimizes shattering and reduces the amount of header loss. At harvest time, every second counts and every bean counts. so you can count on Crary.
Field Drainage Inc. has perfected the art of agricultural drainage by helping hundreds of farmers since 1978. We are a second-generation family-owned business for over 35 years. The Field Drainage Inc. team will work closely with you to conduct a thorough analysis of your needs and expectations, provide an estimate that fits your budget, perform all work in a timely and professional manner, and provide continued service after installation. Field Drainage Inc., your trusted drain tile installation company for over 35 years.
Located in the heart of the Red River Valley, Bloomfield Enterprises sells the finest trailers in the business. Family owned and operated since 1997, Bloomfield Enterprises prides themselves on carrying a wide variety of trailers for customers to choose from. With Bloomfield Enterprises, you can be assured that customer service is more than just a phrase. With a full-service shop and repair center, we are committed to take care of our customers even after the sale. Whether you're in the market for a new trailer or good quality farm equipment, we have just what you're looking for. Call today or visit us online at bloomfieldtrailers.com.
For over 40 years, Northside Implement has been your Gell and Vermeer dealer in Webster, South Dakota and Lidgerwood, North Dakota. With new equipment including feeding, grain handling, haying, and skid steer, as well as a nice selection of used equipment including sprayers, spreaders, seeding, as well as tractors and loaders. Northside Implement stands behind the equipment they sell with quality service guaranteed. See us for all your repairs and parts, from tillage to skid steer loaders to combines and everything in between. Contact Dave, Lydell, Tom, or Chris today at Northside Implement or visit our website for our complete equipment listing.
If you're in the market for used farm machinery, an auction can be a good place to go. This time of year, combines and hay equipment are in high demand. We headed to AgIron, held at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds in West Fargo, to see how prices are holding up.
When an auctioneer gets to sell a tractor, that's a good day.
It's go time for the Steffes team.
11 down, 11, hit her again. We started this AgIron event, 20-some years ago, and it's grown to what we have today, and it's pretty big.
Big, all right. 5 auction rings, 80 workers, and about 4,000 people perusing the grounds. Plus,
we'll have just as many people online watching in their air-conditioned comfort as we do here at the auction sale.
Farmers and dealers came from all over.
6, 7, 8 states, Mexico, Canada. There'll be a lot of equipment here sold today that'll be exported.
Some just keeping tabs on prices.
Sold at 900 right here. 34. Sold at 4,000 on the net. What's the number?
We saw the bottom of the market in the summer of 2016. And of course, last falls with the great harvest that we had really give us some strength in the marketplace and starting to recover a little bit.
Others looking for a bargain. Ryan Hummelvig didn't come here for a tractor, but he got one.
It was a good deal. I mean, it went for like $15,500, and for a tractor like this, I mean, it should go for $20 to $30 easy. Hopefully the bank doesn't get too mad at me, I guess.
Orland O purchased this 9170 Case IH.
I think I paid at the top end for this one, but it's a nice tractor, so I think we're all right.
For others, like 75-year-old Arvid Winkler,
we got that one for the smallest model.
It's time to say goodbye.
Well, I brought down my combine and 4 headers and a header trailer. So after today, I should be out of the harvesting business completely.
He's done farming now.
Mine is the 1688 here. I offered it to someone a year ago for $19,000, so but I got no reserve, so whatever it brings today is what it's going to go for.
Is it hard to let go of some of these items, or is it a relief?
No, I got good service out of them, took care of them. So whoever's willing to take a risk today with the dry weather and whatever is entitled to a good deal.
Winkler says auctions like this are a benefit to him.
In my situation, rather than having a big retirement sale, I've been selling stuff in season, and then they don't have all of the rush to get everything ready at one time.
Steffes says the market seems to be fairly stable for used machinery. It's supported by what's considered a good crop in the Red River Valley and east.
Short supply. Been quite a bit of sell down here for the last 2 or 3 years as markets have adjusted, and we're kind of getting down to the level. You don't see the inventories in the dealer lots. There's not a lot of selling going on, which is really quite nice. So that's holding the market up too.
Steffes has offices in 4 states. He says even in tough economic times, tractors are always the easiest item to sell. While much of the region struggles with drought, there is one bright spot. We'll take a look up next on AgweekTV.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things.
Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
WDAY 970 AM has added the Red River Farm Network to its lineup. Join the Red River Farm Network team as we partner with AgWeek to cover the area's #1 industry, agriculture. Join us Monday through Friday for Country Morning at 7 a.m., opening markets at 8:30, market updates at 9:30, 10:30, and 11:30, closing markets at 1:30. We're committed to reporting agriculture's business on the Red River Farm Network, AgWeek, and WDAY 970 AM.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? AgWeek Magazine. Reaching over 30,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. AgWeek provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. AgWeek. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
AgweekTV, presented by Kaler Farms.
Even though much of North Dakota is witnessing some degree of drought, crops near Langdon are in good shape. That's according to scientists who attended the canola field day at the NDSU Langdon Research Extension Center. Agronomist Brian Hansen says they've had perfect canola growing weather. In June, they only had one day in the 90s, and on June 25th, they had a high of only 51 degrees.
Last year we had record rainfall, and so we had a lot of that moisture that stayed in the ground over the winter, a lot of subsoil moisture. So even though we're down 3 to 4 inches at this point in time, we still have a lot of reserves, and now we've been catching some showers and have had big rains, which is good.
Canada is the world's leading producer and exporter of canola. Thanks for watching this week's edition of AgWeek TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com. We'll see you next week.